Hi again. Hello. I like that. Hello. Hi. Welcome back. I am like full on glamour right now for no good reason. It is chapter 3 of 50 Shades Freed. Where did we leave it last time? The very last paragraph of chapter 2 is she wakes up and goes to the bathroom and sees herself in the mirror, and the last line is, "Holy fuck, what has he done to me?" So, what did he do to her? Let's find out, I guess. Hickeys. That's it. I gaze in horror at the red marks all over my breasts. Hickeys. I have hickeys. I'm married to one of the most respected businessmen in the United States, and he's given me goddamn hickeys. You're married to a kinkster. You're married to a sadistic dom. Hickeys are like the mildest marks that he could give you. I'm just saying. I swear to God, she just referred to him as Mr. Orgasmic, which is like the worst porn star name ever. If anyone ever calls me any variation of that, I'm breaking up with them on the spot. Mr. Orgasmic was using his fine motor sexing skills on me, is the full phrase, and I think that's one of the worst things I've ever had to read in my entire life. Oh my god, and she's like angry that he marked her up like this, which this is why, once again, going back to a rant that I've said about a zillion times at this point, negotiation is everything in kink, and that includes marks that you're gonna leave. What kind of marks everyone's comfortable with or not comfortable with. What kind of marks someone wants in this scene might be different from what kind of marks they want in a scene a week from now. So that's something you have to negotiate, because you know, you leave a scene and if you have like a bruise or a welt or a cut or whatever, that's gonna be on your body. You have to live with that. And the marks that you're left with as a sub should make you happy. I mean, yes, it's kind of just a side effect of pain play or intense play, but ideally as a sub, you're leaving that scene and you're wearing your marks as a badge of pride for what you endured, or a mark of being owned, being possessed by your dom. Whatever, it should be part of a happy memory of a good scene that went well, is what I'm saying. Like, you should never, and this is why you need to negotiate, because you should never be upset or unhappy with the marks that you have. It can mean a lot of things to different people, but it should be a good thing. Marks should be positive. Oh my god, and now, instead of talking about it like a mature adult, she's giving him the silent treatment. You guys, seriously, I don't understand why so many adults don't understand this, but like, whether it's a friendship relationship, a family relationship, a romantic relationship, if you have a problem with someone, fucking talk to them about it. It's never gonna get solved by like being petty or giving them the silent treatment or ignoring it. Nobody can read your mind and know what you want and what you need and what you're thinking and feeling, and just talk to each other, you guys. That's how you resolve things. Oh my, she literally just threw her hairbrush at him. If your relationship has devolved to the point of literally throwing things at each other in anger, that is so unhealthy. Okay, I have to say, I find it a little bit amusing, I don't know, amusing/horrifying that Christian gets mad at Anna so much, and he just kind of expects her to accept that as normal, but then the second she gets mad at him, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's totally out of his depth. On the one hand, ha, but on the other hand, holy shit, that's terrifying. Christian, you have to stop unilaterally trying to bring me to heel. Anna, you're not a sub. Get out of this relationship. He's not compatible with you. So Anna just said, I don't like you leaving marks on me. Well, not this many anyway. It's a hard limit. And he says, I don't like you taking your clothes off in public. That's a hard limit for me. As usual, I have to preface this with every kink relationship is different, and every sub gets to decide exactly how much control they give their dom over their body. But As a general rule, and especially given how abusive and controlling Christian has proven himself to be, I have a real problem with him having a hard limit that has absolutely nothing to do with him and everything to do with someone else's body and what they do with it. Just because you are someone's dom does not mean you own them entirely. Their submission is a gift. It's not something that you're entitled to. It's not something that you just get wholesale as soon as you're in a relationship with them. It's not something that you get to decide on the limits of. They get to decide on the limits of their submission, of your control. That's just how it is. That's just how it works. That is the only way for power dynamics like this to be healthy and fully consensual. Will I always be on the back foot with Mr. Sexpertise? You don't have to. There's this marvelous thing out there called the internet, and on the internet there's all kinds of resources about sex things and kink things and all kinds of fun stuff that you too can access and research and build your own knowledge base. So anyway, to catch you up on where we are right now, they argued for like 2 seconds and then all was forgiven. They had dinner, they went into the cabin and danced, and it was so romantic, and then they fucked, and here we are. Okay, here's the thing that I find really funny. When we get to all the like actual kink activity, it's so obviously written by someone who's not that kinky, and Anna is so obviously not that kinky. But then it gets to the next morning and she goes into the bathroom to find Christian there half naked shaving, and she spends like a good paragraph like describing him shaving and talking about how much she loves watching him shave. That's pretty kinky. And it's just so funny that like this is one of, I think, the kinky, like genuinely most kinky moments that I have found in this series so far, and it probably wasn't even written that way, and it was probably just intended to be like cute or romantic or whatever, like, oh, they're settling into domestic married life or what the fuck ever. But I'm like, there's a very different reading of that scene. 2 things. First of all, after that brief little scene of Christian shaving, it jump cuts to a little bit later in their honeymoon. They're at a hotel somewhere, and as it turns out, Anna has shaved her pubes because I guess that was like one of his rules way back in book 1 when he was trying to have like this list of rules for her, and she decided to do it, but she hasn't done it before, so I guess she didn't do it all that well, which I guess makes sense. But on the other hand, if she's been shaving her legs for years, like it just shaving a different area of your body wouldn't be too different. So I don't know, whatever, plot reasons, because then there's this whole scene, the Christian like inspecting her handiwork and then he like has to redo it for her. He brings out a razor and shaving soap and whatever and is gonna shave her pubes for her, and just the way it's all played as like kind of playful and sexy, and this is another pretty kinky scene that was probably not intended to be written as this kinky, but like this is pretty kinky stuff. Also, when he's first like, I'm gonna shave you, she's like protesting and whatever, and they're kind of playfully arguing. He's like, after some of the things we've done, don't get all squeamish on me now. I know this part of your body better than you do. Which does not, to me, does not speak well of this relationship. Getting to know your own body and your own pleasure is really beneficial to anyone who ever has any desire to engage in any kind of sexual acts. Even if you only start after you're in a relationship, that's cool too. You can then bring that back to your partner and or partners, help them know even better what you like and what to do to get you off, and then partnered sex gets even better. The fact that they are now married and Christian is still the one giving her all of this information about her sexual pleasure, and he's the one dictating what they try, and then she's just kind of along for the ride and figures out what he does that she likes or doesn't like, that's kind of troubling. Like, Anna, I know you're not real, but I'm gonna talk to you like you are right now for a minute, because honey, take control of your own sexuality and your own pleasure, and discover on your own what you like, and then bring that back to him. Sex and pleasure should be a collaborative experience. It should be a mutual discovery of each other's likes and dislikes. It kind of creates an unbalanced relationship, and an unbalanced relationship with sex in particular, if one person knows absolutely nothing about what they like and relies on their partner for all of their pleasure. Having a really unbalanced relationship like that can very easily turn unhealthy, and hey look, their relationship turned unhealthy the day it started. So finally she like agrees to let him shave her, and he goes, "I'd really like to tie you up right now," and she just says, "I promise to keep still." And I'm just over here like, go ahead. Like, fuck, dude, I'd probably let someone tie me up and shave me. That sounds like it could be fun. My god, this is like the first scene in this entire series that I'm actually genuinely enjoying. Oh my god, you guys. It's the next morning, and they're back in the bathroom, and Christian's shaving again, and now Anna's gonna shave him. Like, fully half of this chapter has been dedicated to them shaving each other. This is the kinkiest shit that I have read in this entire series. Like, this is the stuff I signed up for. Cute, healthy, consensual kink. I am living for this. It doesn't have to be this dark, controlling thing that's like just so wrapped up in like punishment and anger and control and negative feelings. I mean, I keep using control as a negative feeling because the kind of control that has been demonstrated in this book has been largely non-consensual, but control can be a very, very positive thing if it's done consensually, and as quickly as the good feelings are there, they're gone again, because now they're talking about their new house that they're building to live in together, and they're talking about the architect, and she is yet another female character who is once again completely in love with Christian and is just all over him, and Anna's really jealous of her, and it's just all these toxic fucking relationships between women in these books, and I'm so sick of it. I'm just sick of it. I hate this. I'm tired of it. So they're visiting some like medieval village that's all picturesque and pretty and whatever, and it's like a nice little tourist stop. And she's like, "I stroll arm in arm with Christian through the narrow cobblestone streets with my hand in the back pocket of his shorts." I'm trying to picture how she's got her hand in his pocket and they're arm in arm. And that just seems anatomically unlikely. So they're at this gallery looking for art or whatever for their new house. There's, of course, this collection of like erotic photos that they have to comment on, and Anna thinks idly, "I wonder if I should let him take photos of me." I mean, sure, if you want to, go for it. No pressure? Question mark. I don't know if I've talked about it that much, but it's kind of been a point in the books that Christian routinely braids Anna's hair, and she asked him about it, and he talks about how he used to play with his birth mother's hair, and so he has this kind of very vague memory from very early in his childhood of doing that, and so I guess, you know, playing with his sub's hair is still kind of calming to him or therapeutic, or I don't know, it's not made clear. Anna says, "I think you loved your birth mother, Christian." And okay, I have to preface this with I have never been in an abusive relationship. I don't have abusive family members at all. I've been fortunate in that way, so I can't speak for abuse survivors. I want to make that clear, and I'm not trying to assume anything about anyone's abuse experience or anything like that. And if I'm way off the mark, I'm very, very, very open to correction and discussion. But I feel like saying, I think you loved your birth mother, knowing how abusive and neglectful of him she was, I feel like that's kind of a shitty thing to say. I think there is a strong narrative in this culture, particularly when it comes to family, to pressure abuse survivors to forgive their abusers, particularly if they are family. There's very much a narrative that is what you need to do to make your life better and to move on from your abuse. And I'm sure that's true of some people, but I feel like it's also important to stress that if you don't want to ever forgive your abuser, that's okay too. And if you don't ever want to think of yourself as having loved them or holding any kinds of positive feelings for them at all ever, that's fine. That is, as far as I am concerned, a perfectly healthy coping method. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, God knows I'm not an expert on healthy coping methods in my own life, but I don't think that there should be any pressure to feel love for an abuser or feel sympathy or forgiveness of any kind. Sure, that person's a human being, but that doesn't negate the fact that they did horrific things to you. They don't necessarily deserve any kind of forgiveness or love, and if you don't want to give them that, if that's your coping method, if that's how you move on, is just hating them forever, I don't see anything wrong with that, honestly. In spite of everything, all his 50-ness, my husband can be so romantic. I gaze down at the faint marks on my wrist. Then again, he can be savage sometimes. Yeah, and as I've said a zillion times, those two things are not mutually exclusive, and especially in kinky relationships, they can coexist right alongside each other at the same time, and that is one of the many reasons why I love kink so much. It's weird and great, and I love it. I'm tentatively saying that Christian is having some measure of character development. They're in the car, and he's like looking at the marks that he left on her ankles from the handcuffs. Like, he's actually showing remorse instead of just, being satisfied that he punished her and marked her. He actually understands that she was uncomfortable with these marks and didn't ask for them or necessarily want them, and he's actually feeling bad about it. And that is a rare fucking thing for Christian Grey. Why is it only now in the third book that this is even beginning to fucking happen? So the chapter ends with Christian getting a phone call. Apparently there was a fire in a server room, I guess at his office. I don't fucking know. I don't care. Basically, shit's going down, and we don't know for sure yet if it was arson, but, plot reasons, it probably is going to turn out to be arson. So yeah, a wild plot appears on the horizon, and that's where we'll start next chapter. Thank you once again for joining me for this chapter of 50 Shades Freed. We actually had some good moments. I had a couple scenes that I enjoyed. This is wild, you guys. I'm not used to this. I enjoyed it while it lasted. It probably won't happen again anytime soon. I guess I should have opened with this, but I didn't think of it, but it's fine. I am filming this mid-May. I'm traveling in actually a few days at this point. I'm going to be leaving. So that means less editing time for this video, so it might not be posted right at the beginning of next month, which is June. I knew that, but hopefully it will be not too much delayed. So yes, until next time. Oh, there are so many things I could say. Fuck, dude, go out there and find a new kink. Find a new thing that can be erotic that you wouldn't have thought before would be erotic. Like shaving, or shit, son, I recently found out that erotic haircuts are a thing, which I can definitely see and I would definitely be down for at least once in my life. One of the fun things about getting into kink and like kind of following other like kinksters who are in the public eye and like talk about their kinks publicly is like you find all of these new things that are kinks and you never would have thought of it before, but you never know. You might find stuff that you enjoy as well. And that is the great thing about kink, is that so much of life can be turned into fun, sexy times, and it's great. Oh my god, right, I'm supposed to start actually doing like YouTuber things. Follow me on Twitter. That's in my description box down below. Comment, like, subscribe. I never say any of that stuff, but like do that shit if you want to. If you enjoyed the video, maybe help get it out to some other sets of eyeballs if you feel so inclined. Okay, I will talk to you next time, and like I said, I hope this video isn't too late, and if it is, sorry, I was out there living my life. Okay, bye!